All right, Grasshoppers, happy Columbus Day. And we went out and paid some people to pretend they're Mark Puttenvink's friends.
Cost me a lot of money, man.
We only had enough money for three of them.
I had to borrow from my neighbor.
Take a loan, and so it's Happy Columbus Day, and it's Canada's Thanksgiving too. So a big day for us, and we got Mark on. Again, just so everybody remembers, Mark Puttenvink, Patriot Training Systems, trained all kinds of hockey players, football players, Navy SEALs, housewives, whatever you need to train. And Mark, as we've talked before, is part of a hockey team to help veterans in New Jersey called the New Jersey Warriors, and we have Ted Curtin on, who you head up that organization, don't you? Don't you run that?
Oh, it's with Mark. I couldn't do it alone. Thanks, Tom. The two of us have been really just so passionately involved in helping these veterans. It's really a calling more than anything else, Tom.
Yeah. It is amazing, right, how hockey, and I noticed that I'm on that board of the Warrior for Life Fund down in Virginia Beach, and they got a rink there, and the results getting guys coming back with PTSD or whatever, or just missing being in the services, that makes such a difference when playing hockey. So it's pretty rewarding. And Ted Tedesco, and I'm sorry, you're with Brian or Bill?
Bill.
Okay, I change names every once in a while. So
that's all right. Yeah. Appreciate it, Tom.
So
and the group that you three are with is called what now?
We're with Hockey Players in Business.
Very cool. Very cool. And so what's the concept of Hockey Players for Business?
So it's a non-for-profit organization designed to allow ex-hockey players or current hockey players to network, and ultimately, in the business world, right, obviously, who better to work with than other hockey people, right? And beyond that, it allows us to run events and partner up with guys like the New Jersey Warriors and really give back to charity. So all of the proceeds that we make in different happy hours and golf outings and things like that all go back to the charity of our choice. And we've been lucky enough to partner up with the New Jersey Warriors.
Now, have you got your own business aside from this? Because this is a nonprofit, correct?
Correct, yeah. So Bill and I are both financial planners on the side. And then this is, as part of our business, it's really key for us to network. So kind of fall into our laps like, hey, Hockey Players in Business, this sounds pretty awesome. Like, let's get this going in New Jersey. And then the snowball effect of it, starting to roll and continue to grow.
Good. I don't know if you know it. So I've got my business, True Grit Life, which is a motivational speaking and a book and all that. But the other business I have is called Post Game Strategies. And it's basically, I found years ago when I was in the agent business that the network, and this is what you guys are talking about, so I'm not telling you something you don't know here, but the network that athletes, or particularly former athletes, have is huge. And they probably don't even realize how to monetize it or what to do with it down the road. So that's what that company is designed to do. We have people, if it's an oil and gas company looking for $100 million for an oil deal, or now marijuana is a big thing, or cannabis companies. So we just we're connectors with, just use the network of the former athletes. So I love the concept of what you're doing. How many athletes do you have, hockey players in particular, involved in this?
So in the New Jersey chapter, we have around 20 members. We have a lot of non-members who, like to show up and be a part of it, but they just haven't pulled the trigger yet to join. And then nationally, we have a couple thousand members across different chapters. I think we have about 36 chapters, something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys head this up then, and you get chapters underneath you?
Yeah. So they started in Ohio back in, I believe it was 2016 around that time. And every chapter kind of has their own leadership. And Bill and I took that job for New Jersey. Again, I don't know how it wasn't started earlier on, because everywhere we go, it seems like there's hockey players around here.
Yeah, and hockey players are good too, right? Because they're always out. The seasons all make sense. The golf tournaments, the dinners. Most guys get pretty good personalities, good at meeting people. One of the things that I found for me, and I think it's a lot of, especially hockey players, they're kind of taught. Well, not kind of taught. You are taught to be humble. It's not about you; it's about the team. And making those cold calls or something that's kind of uncomfortable for players at first. And I had a lot of business people saying to me, Tom, you've got to call people up and tell them who you are. You play for the New York Rangers. People want to know that. I'll never forget, I called this gentleman up, really nice guy. We're friends now, Brian Gersh. He had a multi-billion-dollar fund. And I Googled a bunch of guys, hockey and Wall Street, and his name came up. And I called the secretary, and I said, this is Tom Laidlaw of the New York Rangers. Well, she drops the phone right away and runs. I could hear it like feet pitter-pattering down the hallway. And I thought, geez, I guess she's not a hockey fan or something. I don't know. Brian Gersh comes to the phone, and he knew some Trice language because he thought it was one of his buddies that was calling him playing a joke. He says, Tom Laidlaw would never call me. Now this is a guy running a multi-billion-dollar fund, like I hadn't played in years. And we hit it off. He had me down for lunch the next day, and his office was a Hockey Hall of Fame. So that's the secretary knew that if it was hockey, she better go get him right away. And it really taught me a lesson that, you're not being arrogant or bragging or whatever. People want to know who you are. And so it opens a lot of doors that way. And I think that's obviously helps players with the networking part of it too. So Ted, what role do you play in all this?
Oh, gosh. Mark, how would you even define the roles that we play? So, Mark had this concept. He met a friend of his actually who had started a program in Dallas. And when he found
Brad Lukowicz, you remember Brad, right, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
When he found out that, we didn't have a program like this in our area, first obvious question is why not? And, Mark gets back and he makes a couple phone calls. He calls his friend, Kevin Fox, who used to call, who's now with the Devils, calls his friend Mike Vaccaro with USA Hockey, reached out to me. And this was, Mark, I want to say this was like 2019, I think
it was like February around then.
Yeah, it was like 2019. And all of a sudden chips started falling into place, and the support from the Devils, the support from USA Hockey, and then, just surrounding businesses and partners that wanted to help us really made it, I'm not going to say easy because Mark and I have put a lot of heart and sweat into this, but they've really sort of made the path obvious in terms of how we can create this program that just builds and fosters a great sense of camaraderie, a new sense of purpose for these veterans who have a really tough time reintegrating into civilian society once they get out of the service. In the service, everything is rigid, everything is structured, everything is planned for them. They come out, they don't have that structure, and they feel lost, and the VA is no help to them whatsoever. And so whatever mental and physical issues they're dealing with, and then trying to get on with life, it's really tough. And to be able to have an opportunity to hang out with, and in our case, play hockey with other people who are going through the same thing, it's really an incredible environment. And so, for us, we do everything from look for opportunities to put together charity games, put our guys into tournaments, and even help other organizations. The one thing that we find with our veterans is service is in their blood. And as much as Mark and I want to help them, all they want to do is help other people. It's like they don't even care about themselves. It's really but hockey, Tom, hockey people are high energy. You said it, they're team players, they're competitive. And that's why things like the hockey players in business, like Tim and Bill have, it just makes so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just, you touched on the mental health portion of it too, and I'm learning more and more that that peer-to-peer really helps a lot more, right? Like instead of sitting in front of some doctor, no disrespect to doctors when I say this, but I mean, with another athlete can sit in front of another athlete and talk about his problems, or a soldier can sit in front of another soldier, or whatever it is. I think I'm learning more and more that it's much more productive, right? They just feel like I've talked to a young girl, had on a show, fantastic girl. She'd been through an abusive relationship, had committed had thought about suicide, and went to see a psychiatrist. And she said it was the worst thing in the world. They were just totally judging her, and he's getting happy pictures of his family all over the office. And meantime, she's living in a tent because she had to leave this abusive relationship. So, it wasn't until she found somebody else, just another person that reached out to her, that she really had results. But that's another story. But the mental health thing I think is a really big issue right now. Mark and I have talked about it a lot. But so then how did the New Jersey Warriors and hockey players in business get together then?
I believe we ended up speaking with Mark through actually a colleague of ours through the firm that Tim and I work for. Met a friend of Mark's and said, "Hey, you guys should really talk with Mark." And at this time, I mean, the Hockey Players in Business New Jersey chapter is relatively new, and our whole thing is getting together, watching games, in person at a bar or something like that. And so obviously with COVID, that affected our ability to do some of those things. So in the meantime, we were just kind of strategizing and gathering relationships. We had met Mark, and through Mark, we learned all about the New Jersey Warriors and their cause. And honestly, I had no idea about it. I know Ted and Mark always talk about it. It's almost more important to them, less than the money, but more about the awareness as to getting more and more veterans involved. And so we did our first event and got to meet a lot of the guys on the team, number one, and got to meet Ted and Mark as well. And So that's kind of how we met, and the relationship has kind of just blossomed from there. And we have kind of our biggest event coming up in about a week and a half, which is really, really exciting. And so that's kind of how we've met, I believe.
Good.
Tom,
Well, I want to talk about that event a little bit more here, but here's a follower of ours, and he's kind of echoing what you guys are saying. Tim has been through a cancer battle. He listens to a lot of our shows, and the hockey community really helped him more than I know during his cancer journey. I didn't know he played with vets and current military personnel, but they've been wonderful to him. So just kind of echoes what you guys are already saying here. So good job. All right, so you got an event coming up then, a golf tournament.
Yeah.
Wow, good. Now, is the idea that Mark is going to golf?
No, let me just preface this by saying, and this kind of piggybacks to what Ted was talking about, how we're always looking as an organization to reach out to other veteran organizations. And I got a call from Robbie Martinez, who I coached with at Montclair State, one of the 50,000 teams I coached for. But anyway, we had a player that played for us. I didn't know this until actually yesterday, Eric Perdon, who played college hockey for Robbie and I. He ended up becoming a Secret Service agent. And he had the Donald Trump Jr. detail with another Secret Service agent who was a Marine veteran who unfortunately took his life. So Mission 22, which is another phenomenal veterans organization, they do quite a bit with equine, and it's another very important organization. Through Mission 22, they had a golf outing yesterday, and Jimmy Jam, our goaltender, and I played in it. So, it was the New Jersey Warriors paying forward again to another veterans organization. So it was a great day. I will say this, and the reason I'm not playing in this outing is because I'm really good with knives. We played best ball yesterday, and we still shot a 97. So best ball, the whole concept is my shot could be terrible, his is good. We play his ball.
Yeah, right.
And we still shot a 97. So we did win the very first award at the dinner following, which was the worst score out of the whole tournament. So, hey, I like winning, guys.
The only way it could get worse though is you have me golfing with you too, because I don't even try to golf anymore. Yeah, it was funny. We played a tournament. We had a tournament like 3 or 4 months ago. No, this is actually before the pandemic, and it was with a group of really nice people. It was a Ranger tournament, and father was there with the sons, and they had the financial planners there. It was one of those tournaments, and so I didn't hit a shot all game long. So at the end, they had like a 30-foot putt, and they said, "Tom, can you just hit one putt for us?" So I got up there, I was really cocky. I started giving them instructions how to do it properly. Okay, you line it up here, thinking I'm not even going to come close. So I line up, and I think I got my eyes closed probably too, and I take the shot, and I sink the shot, 30-foot shot. You're all high five. The one poor younger guy, I was going to run towards him and give him the chest bump, and he wasn't a very big guy, and he saw me running towards him, and the look in his eyes were just like, oh my God. So that's how I golf right there.
There's a saying, and I live and die by, that man blames God for all his bad golf shots, but will claim total responsibility for a hole-in-one.
Oh yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Hey,
So this golf outing is going to be awesome. Hockey Players in Business put this together. We've got some great. Oh my gosh, the PGA Tour Superstore has given us tons of swag and prizes, like really nice prizes to be giving away at this tournament. So
good. And what's the date of the tournament again?
Tim,
it's next Saturday, so October 23rd.
Good. And whereabouts?
It's at Sunset Valley Golf Course, Sunset Valley.
Yeah.
Sunset Valley,
In,
Pompton
in
Lakes or Pompton Plains.
And all the spots are sold out then? Nobody?
No, there's still
a few
more
left
spots available. We do have to shut down registration Wednesday. We have to let the golf course know how many we have. Right now we're at about 22 foursomes. 30 is the max. So we're expecting to get at least 4 or 5 more today. Obviously hoping to sell out.
Good. And how can somebody get a hold of you to sign up for that golf tournament?
Yeah, so they can go to hockeyplayersinbusiness.org/events, and then we're the second event on that page. It'll say the New Jersey golf outing. And they can go and register right online.
Good. We'll try to post that after the show too. We'll post it up on my site to make sure we get there. That'd be fun. The golf tournaments are fun. Like you said, I golf. So one of my things is too that people would hire me to go around and just drive the cart around, make fun of people. So I think it's really funny to untie the strap on the bag, so when they go to leave, the bag goes flying out. Now the first couple of times it's funny, but like I have to I'm one of the guys that does like 25 or 30 times. The guy's like, oh, that's enough. Jeez, enough said. Yeah.
Yeah. So what Ted and I are going to do is Ted and I are going to bop around on the course and just introduce ourselves to the players and talk about our program and kind of do a little bit of promotion. And this is an event that really hockey players in business put together for us, and we're entirely grateful for. To Ted's point, PGA Superstore has really supported us with a lot of swag, and they're going to present us with a check for $10,000 for the program as well.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah.
That's excellent. They really stepped up. Good job.
Yeah.
It's because of your charming personality there, Mark. That's why.
Yeah, well, I offered free golf lessons too at the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're paying $10,000 to stay away.
Stay away. Well, it's a shame that there wasn't any video yesterday because I did hit 2 really great balls yesterday. So I was walking up to the sand trap and I stepped on the rake. And
I was reading something. I'm sorry. I was reading something. I was doing to say to you.
I said that the 2 best balls I hit yesterday was when I stepped on a rake in a sand trap.
Right. Now, and this is really exciting for me today too, because typically Mark will either not have a shirt on at all, or he'll have like one of the shirts that shows like he's got he can do push-ups, so his chest is pumped up and he's all tanned up and everything. So he's going Mr. Conservative today. I don't know if he doesn't want to intimidate you guys what it is, but that's typically what I have to deal with. So.
Well, he's still not wearing anything but flip-flops. My money is on that. So.
I know. I do have to give him credit, and I hate to do this. I don't like giving Mark credit. So I hurt my neck a while ago, of course. Who do I call with Mark? So I was going with I think I was going with the Heat right away, right? And of course I did that wrong. So I had to put ice on. So he corrected me. Now I've got the plantar fasciitis. Plantar fasciitis. Yeah. Of course, who do I have to call? You have to call Mark. And he says, well, you got to stretch it, Tom. So I stretch it, and now it's getting better. So I hate to admit it, but he is pretty smart. Ted, I've got to go back to you too. So we met the first time at the Swim Across the Hudson this year. Yep. That you're participating in, and I joke around with you. I hope you're okay with it. But I got in your pickup truck, thinking, "Oh, nice truck." He says, "It's my wife's truck." And so the wife drives the pickup truck. She works for a construction company, does she?
She does. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I think that's excellent. Lucky man. Wife's working for a construction company. Got the hard hat there and everything.
But she gets all the nice toys.
Yeah. Well, like we said before, she's got you, so that's just the way it works. Right. And you have a very interesting company yourself. I hope you mind we talk about that for a couple minutes. What is it that you do again?
Yeah, so my business is innovation, which is kind of weird when you say it's a business, but it is actually. So we have a global network of literally geniuses, Mensa geniuses, and super creative geniuses, and we take really weird and wildly diverse, but intentionally selected combinations of these. We call them prodigies, and we collide them together to come up with new product ideas for companies ranging from Oreo cookies to New Balance sneakers to Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's really interesting, the different type of work that we do. And it's for companies that are, really good at what they do, but they know that bringing in outside thinking is such a really good and robust way to stay ahead of the competition. And so companies that understand that innovation is critical and that the best thinking doesn't always come from within your organization. It often comes from outside thinking. Those are the types of companies we work with.
Very cool. I was very impressed when you told me that. You were driving around. It was a pretty good idea, right? Yeah. I don't know many people would have thought of that kind of thing, but
yeah, it's fun stuff.
There's one of those ideas. Like sometimes you look at these great ideas, you go like, God, why couldn't I think of that stuff, right? So Tim and Bill, so is this something that you're out recruiting players, hockey players, to come be part of this, or it's kind of word of mouth that they're coming to you?
I think it's mostly how we've grown thus far is through just word of mouth, friends of friends, and our obviously men's league teams, things like that, right? I think that's important. And the idea is that we want to grow the chapter, not only to do well for the community, but also to get more people involved, get more people out there. There's a lot of things that you can learn by networking and meeting a lot of different types of people from all different types of industries. So that's our kind of main goal is, we want exposure. We want access to more folks so they can, join and come to our events and things like that. And also all the while giving back to great, charities like what Ted and Mark have put together. That's kind of our main motivation.
So how are the hockey players doing business inside this group that you've got? So they're creating deals or getting deals done through you?
Yeah, for example, like we'll have like Tim and I will, we're in the financial field, so we're helping folks with their finances, retirement, keeping their money in their pocket, passing it on to generation, et cetera. But then, we also have people in the group. We have plumbers, we have woodworkers, we have insurance people. We have all of these different types of folks that different backgrounds and different businesses that come to the group. And who better to do business with than other hockey folks? That's kind of I think that's what we've found most success with, because they kind of understand each other, and all good people and things like that. So that's kind of been the biggest success, I think, from a inter-business portion of the chapter.
Good. Now, were you guys both hockey players, Tim and Bill?
Yes. We actually still coach as well over at Watchung Hills.
Oh, good. Good. You get kids playing? Your sons are?
No, not yet.
No
We're
kids
yet. Not there yet.
I'm engaged. He's not engaged yet. Maybe soon.
What's the matter? What's going wrong? Come on. You want to talk or what?
Listen, it's
Gotta do a better job
we can take this off air, but no.
I'm twice divorced, so I don't know if you want to talk to me or not. I can tell you what not to do, right?
Yeah.
And somehow Mark up there has found some saint of a woman that deals with him, Beth. We still have to. Do you know Beth? Ted, have you met Beth?
Oh yeah, a saint.
Really? Gotta be, right?
Oh yeah. I know Beth. I know Mark. She's a saint.
Does she ever just feel like? Does she ever just come to you to talk to you sometimes? Like, what did I do? Like, can't believe the mistakes I made. All that kind of stuff.
Usually shows up with a bottle.
Exactly.
Is Beth the one
Come on, Beth. It's okay.
Oh God.
What's that, Bill?
Is Beth the one holding the phone when you're shooting your videos out in the backyard?
No, the dog. I trained the dog. It's
Oh,
a Portuguese. Yeah, very smart animal.
Seriously.
We tried to train Beth. She would have none of that. So,
No.
So Tim, you're engaged?
Yeah.
When's the wedding?
Not till June 2023.
Okay. You want my address for the?
Yeah, send it over.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Guys showing up.
But,
Mark, what's going on today with you? Anything exciting happening? How was your weekend?
It was good. I played in that golf outing yesterday, which was really great. And I have to tell you, man, I'm the mother of the young man who took his life. Approached me, and we spoke for about 20 minutes. And sometimes you read about these things, you hear about these things, but when you meet the people that are directly affected by it, it's really life-changing for me. I think for anybody to understand. Well, you can't understand it because it's not you, but really tough thing.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, so I did that, and then Saturday, what I do, just worked and went in the woods and threw knives.
Do a lot of that. Hey, I know I spoke about this young lady before, but Jillian A. Brown is her name. She realized we were talking about her, but she's got a great company too. Jillian A. Brown Photography. If you look up her story, it's just a really inspirational story, what she's been through and influencing people now too. So she has become one of my favorite people here. She's stuck with me now. So that's her.
Just to follow up on your story about saying, hey, I'm Tom Laidlaw, New York Rangers, right? So years ago, I was training this kid who played at William & Mary, football player, and he gets pulled over on Route 80. He's speeding, right? And at the time, I was, with the Devils, and actually it was me and this young man, Kenny Danico, and I think Billy Guerin. We did a summer workout. So he had some tickets or something. He goes, hey, the state trooper goes, license, registration. So Warren says, hey, you a Devils fan? And he says, no, Rangers fan. Hands him his ticket and walks away. So it didn't work out dropping that.
That's funny. That is funny. But there isn't that many Devils fans. I mean, right?
That's 4, I think, maybe.
That's 4 of them. Okay, so one more time, the date, this golf tournament is this coming Saturday in New Jersey. You'll have that all on your site. Hockey Players in Business.
well, next Saturday.
next
October 23rd.
Okay,
October
gotcha.
23rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have to have all the registrations in by this Wednesday, though?
This week, yeah.
Correct.
Cut off?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got 2 more days basically to sign up for that tournament. It'd be a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure. Am I coming, Mark? Is that?
If you want to come, I'd love to have you, man. Come
Yeah.
around. We'll jump people from behind trees and shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? We'll jump out with sticks and attack people right on their backswing.
Tom, I'll bring my wife's truck if it'll make you happy.
Well, I was just going to say, would you bring your wife too, or just like you just try? What happens to the poor woman? Like she's got to go to work, and you're taking her truck home.
We fight for it. I always lose. It's okay. You know,
right?
Tom, the cool thing about this is these guys, Bill and Tim, are just doing such a great job supporting this cause. I had one of our Warriors said something the other week, which really stuck with me. He said, Warriors hockey is magic. And I've heard a lot of people talk about the program in different ways. And, and it's always interesting, but he said, Warriors hockey is magic. And so now my ears are pricking. Okay, where's this going? And he said, PTSD takes so much away from us. It takes away love and joy and smile and laughter. And Warriors hockey gives that all back to me. He said, and I don't even have to step on the ice. I step in the locker room, and these guys and these gals who have all been through the same stuff that I've dealt with, just get a chance to forget about it and be with each other and understand each other. It's kind of like you're saying, when you're talking to people, like, whether it's a shrink or something, if they haven't been through what you've been through, it's not the same. And so when he said that Warriors hockey is magic, that really just hit me and just it reaffirmed that Mark and I are doing the right thing by creating this environment. And we've said this to you before, if anyone that's listening to this is a veteran who's played hockey or even more important, knows a veteran who has played hockey in the past or still plays hockey now, have them get in touch with us at NewJerseyWarriors.org. We welcome all veterans to play with us and be part of this program. It is healing, it is therapeutic, but it's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
One of the things, Tom, too, like with Ted, our combined vision, Ted and I, myself and Elliot, who's our treasurer, what can we do for veterans? It's not about hockey. And sometimes being a hockey guy, you can get ahead of yourself and start thinking, well, oh, geez, no, the hockey is just a conduit to bring the people together. And then everything that Ted and I do, our first and only thought really is, how is this going to benefit our veterans? And what we did, through COVID and the lockdowns, we started a weekly Zoom call. We went for a couple of hikes. We just did stuff with the guys and the girls to get them out and get together and have a good time. And that's really what this is all about.
Yeah. Don't you find too, like we talked about it, and Jill's chiming in there about it too, that she's been through some stuff in her life and learned, just being able to have acceptance, right? That you can talk about how you're feeling. I think that's the big thing that's really changed over time here, where especially it's not limited to men, but I mean, perception was you're supposed to be a strong person, strong woman, strong man. You're not going to talk about your feelings or that you're hurt or whatever. And luckily that's changing, I think, so much more now, right? That there is that acceptance that, we've gone through some, I know some guys, some hockey players have gone through stuff in the hockey world before, and you combine the hockey world and the military world. If you go back 20 years, like talking about your feelings or feeling weak, whatever, you just didn't do that, right? It just didn't happen. So that's good. That's all because the stuff that guys like you are doing too, getting guys together so that they are around other people and can talk like that. So very important stuff. Okay. Again, I'd like to do this to make sure that we get it out there. It's the 29th is the date of the
October
23rd.
23rd. See how I can do that? See, I'm trying to keep you guys on your toes.
Yeah. the next time you say it, you'll get it.
No, I won't. You're giving me way too much credit.
We also have in November. We just finalized it. We don't have anything out there yet to advertise on it, but November 27th. It's a Saturday night, 7 p.m. at Bridgewater Sports Arena. Hockey Players in Business is going to be hosting a charity game between the New Jersey Warriors and Newark Fire Department.
Oh, nice. That'd be good. Oh,
so,
we're looking forward to that.
Some giveaways, some raffles, and 50-50, some fun games and stuff like that as well to go along.
Good. Now, you guys all going to participate in that game?
I don't know if we're participating. We'll be, monitoring it. We don't want to take away from.
Ted and I will be on the bench coaching. So it's our Warrior team is playing Newark Fire Department. Okay. Well, we could use a solid left-handed D-man if you're available that night.
It's funny. Years ago, it hasn't happened in a while. They have these men's leagues. They have, St. Patrick's Day tournaments and that. And people are like, Tom, can you come and play on our men's league team? You run the power play. And I'm going, you can check the tape. I don't do power plays. I never did it before when I played in the NHL. I'm certainly not going to do it now. So.
That's awesome.
Although my old teammate Ron Gresham gets a real kick out of the fact my first year in the league, Freddie Shearer was our coach. He coached the Philadelphia Flyers years ago, and he coached the Rangers at this point. And he put me on the point. There should be in the front of the net on the power play. I scored my first goal from there. But then he got fired halfway through the year, so we're suspecting that's probably why he got fired. So he's a good guy.
Was it off your stick or?
Actually, I did. It was. I think Phil Esposito and Barry Beck assisted on it. So I think Phil passed it back to Barry Beck. Beck shot, and I put in the rebound. So
there you go.
Actually, the real joke is that Mr. Gresham gets kicked out. Is the real first goal I scored in the NHL was on my own goaltender. My first year, my first game in the National Hockey League up in Boston. John Davidson was the goalie, and I was just so nervous. I went to shoot the puck. You got it one side, and then you try to shoot around the other side, and just banked it right off the back of his leg into the net. And I still hadn't been told I made the team yet. It's the first regular season game, and I was playing well, but I hadn't been told. So you go back to the bench at this point, and coaches can't coach you for something like that. So the bench is just dead silence. And I'm thinking, here I am, a rookie in the NHL, and the career was over.
Yeah, and then Michel Petit ended up paying the ultimate price for it, though.
No, it's Robert Picard.
Robert Picard. Yeah.
So the next game we played in Toronto, and I've told the story over, so I'll be brief, but we played that game in Toronto, and Freddie Shiro had told myself, Chris Katsopoulos, and Eddie Hosper are all big guys. He said, now listen, I'm not telling you to fight, but you're not going to play the first 5 minutes of each game. You're not going to play the last 5 minutes of each game. What do you think you can do to help this hockey team? I'm not telling you to fight. I'm not telling you to fight, though. So Robert Picard, I'm skating by the bench, and this is Maple Leaf Gardens. I grew up in the area. My parents are in the building and everything. First time they're going to see their son play live in the NHL. And he butt ends me right in front of the bench. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so after last night, I shot the puck in my own net. Butt ends me right in front of the bench. I can't let that happen. So I stood up and just suckered him and knocked him out cold at center ice. They told me to get a place to stay after the game. I'd made the team, so after that.
Did you turn around and say, hi, Mom, hi, Dad?
Oh, my poor mother was devastated. My father was really proud. He was a big man, big farm boy and everything. But my little tiny mother, this is her son. She's driven to practice and everything. Yeah, it was funny stuff. Well, great job by you guys. First of all, great job with the New Jersey Warriors, just in general. Ted, Mark, you guys have done a fantastic job. I've seen firsthand how it helps the Warriors so much. And Tim and Bill, fantastic job by you putting this event together and the upcoming charity game as well. And I love the concept that you're doing, putting the hockey players and business together. I think it benefits everybody. The hockey guys who I don't know if they always realize what a great network they have too. So. Again, so we'll post. I'll get all the information from Mark and make sure we post it again, the date and where we can people can sign up for the golf tournament. And Ted, maybe we can raffle off your wife's truck. Right?
I think she's going to have something to say about that.
I have something to say about that. Okay. You get the write-off from it.
We can raffle off her pink work boots, maybe, but not the truck.
No, don't tell me she's got pink work boots.
No, she doesn't.
Those are yours. What are you talking about?
I offered to get the pink work boots.
Well, great job by everybody involved. And again, we will make sure that we have all that posted up there so if people want to sign up for the golf tournament. It's a great event. And I guess the important thing to say too is that although this is an event to raise money for New Jersey Warriors right now, people can contact you online and make donations as well, right? At any point.
Yeah, right on njwarriors.org.
njwarriors.org. Okay, perfect. Yep. Good job. Well, great job, everybody. Ted, Tim, Bill, good to see you. I'll expect the invitation. I'll get my address to you, Tim, for the invitation for the wedding. Bill, we need some work to do here.
We're working on it. Tom.
Okay, we're working on it. Got any prospects or anything or what?
Oh, yeah. We're getting close.
Great job, everybody. Great to meet you.
Thanks all.
Thank you so much.
See you guys.